Here we are. Everything seems to be working perfectly. We're just gonna finish up our HDA by adding a few more parameters here. We can get rid of all of these. We've already integrated them on our HDA. Now, what I want to include here is the possibility of controlling the colors. These colors that we see on the height field, I want them to be the ones that are baked in our extra textures in our tinct map. And for that, we're just going to need to connect one thing to the other, which should be pretty easy to do. Now we'll go inside, and if you see here, or better yet, inside COP network, we have a bunch of colors here named grass color, rock color, brightness, and it would be nice to expose these parameters. So we'll go to type properties, parameters, and we'll put those here on the game assets texture. Let's dive inside back again, and I'm gonna grab the grass color, the rock color, sand color, and brightness. You can expose as many parameters as you want. You could even go and expose these as well. But for now, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'll hit apply. Okay. I'm gonna go up to the digital asset, and I'm gonna actually close this, accept. Okay. I'm gonna close that, and here I'll just make sure I have the parameters available here. And that way I can go inside and just copy these as well. So the idea is for us to, here on the height field visualize, use exactly the same colors. So let me grab this copy parameter, and here I'm going to use, so I'll copy the grass first, copy parameter, paste relative references. That way we're going to get the same color all the way. Copy parameter, paste relative references, and finally copy parameter, paste relative references. Okay, and that way we get exactly the same colors that we have here is the ones that we're going to be seeing in the height field. And that's going to give us kind of a better preview of what's going to be coming out on the extra maps. That's basically it. I'm just going to close this out. And this basically concludes our system, our HDA. Just going to go save node type, match current definition, and here we have our complete system for converting the the data that comes from that we got from open topography, the ground points and the vegetation points, and everything else. So this is open, but I bet we can just match current definition to close it. So here it is. Basically, we have three digital assets that allow us to grab the first one will allow us to grab the points that we bring from open topography and organize and process all those sets of points by orienting them, positioning them, and just clipping them, all that stuff. It's taken care of right here. Removing stray points and all that. Then from this, we had the other one that's actually going to be able to convert that and give us a height field with as much detail as we want controlled here. We have control over the erosion, the borders, all that stuff. We can even scatter the trees if we decide that we want to use the trees for scattering. We can also scatter the trees, and that's going to give us the scattered trees. We'll have two outputs again, one output for the height field, another output for the trees. Okay, we can either output the trees or not have anything coming in here, and if we disconnect this, we'll just get the points, which would allow us to then copy to the points. It would be pretty much the same thing if we just got here and use the copy to points. So these would be the points, and this would be what we want to copy, and this should give us pretty much the same thing. Finally, we have the last and probably the most complex and the most powerful HDA, which has one button to generate, to grab this output, this height field, and just output generate an FBX and all the necessary textures for us to have a game asset. Um, on this last HDA, we can either export, we can even continue to export just a height field and bring that into our game engine, or we can actually convert into high resolution geometry or our game asset version with which will have the normal map supplied and all that stuff. Okay, now here we're seeing a 2K map for normal map and ambient occlusion applied on the material for the preview, and we could merge these. Let me try and merge. Okay, and we will have this type of disposition. A nice looking piece of terrain based on real world LiDAR data.